Good evening, I'm Shane Jones, leading the news at 7. Over the past few weeks, the issue of sewage on the South Coast has come into sharp focus as the Barbados Water Authority moves to grapple with this problem. The issue became even more acute over the weekend when one of the directors, the chicken barn at Worthing, Paul Hainham, announced he was closing the outlet and sending home his workers because of the issue. Well, joining us live to put this issue into perspective is Acting Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Kenneth George. Dr. George, good evening.
Thanks so much, Shane.
Wonderful. Well, let's get straight to it. Are the problems on the South Coast a public health issue?
Well, first, let me start by saying that Barbados has weathered many public health threats, incidents, and risks for many years. We have gotten over Ebola, we have gotten over Zika, chikungunya, and the respiratory viruses, influenza. This is yet another public health challenge, and I think the fundamentals that we have in place in Barbados are quite strong. The Ministry of Health has taken a very proactive approach with respect to managing and containing the issues on the South Coast. Our main concern is that first, the potable water systems that...
It's Christmas at the Kingsley store on Roebuck Street. Visit them today, spend $200 or more and get a chance to win one of their 3 grand prizes. A $1,000 food voucher, a $750 food voucher.
I think we can make...
It's your favorite time of year again when everyone is
cooking food, making sure that your countertops are sanitized while preparing food and after preparing food, making sure that your storage, hot foods are kept hot at 145 degrees Fahrenheit, cold foods are kept cold at 45 degrees Fahrenheit or lower. And I think workers who report illness should not work on the job. We have indicated that we have put forward an enhanced surveillance program and system. What does that mean? We are looking very carefully at any increased incidence above the normal standard rate of gastroenteritis. So we have put our polyclinics on notice that all cases of gastroenteritis need to be reported to the Ministry of Health. In addition to that, we do intend to work with the private doctors within the catchment to make sure that that information is also passed to the Ministry of Health on a timely basis. We have instituted a rapid reaction task force, which consists of teams from the Barbados Water Authority, the Tourism, Environmental Protection Division, the Chief Information Officer. So there is quite a lot that is going on. And finally, we have deployed extra public health officials and officers within the catchment to engage businesses on a one-on-one and find out if they have any concerns. Now, the Barbados Water Authority has indicated to us that we are going to be in this for a quite while, or for the foreseeable future. They haven't given us a date when they can contain it. However, with respect to raw sewage on the road, they have instituted a plan where they are doing frequent washdowns and frequent disinfection at the sites on the roads. I will encourage all Barbadians, if you see water or spillage on the road, you avoid that. Even if you are driving in a car, you wait until you can get to the other side of the road and you pass.
Okay, well, let me ask here, since you talk about raw sewage, there's been a suggestion there could be waterborne diseases because of raw sewage spewing into the air, on cars, on vehicles, on people just in the area. Right. What's your reaction to that?
My reaction to that is that it's extremely unlikely. Foodborne illness and gastroenteritis is not transmitted usually as an airborne disease. So I think that it's contamination of the food supply or contamination of your potable water supply. And I think if we take the basic hygiene methods that we do as we cook our food at home, those basic things I'm encouraging persons. For example, you can use bleach, adding just a tablespoon of bleach to a gallon of water is good to sanitize your surfaces, your equipment, etc. Persons, the toilets in business houses should be clean. They should be documented evidence of cleaning. They should be soap. They should be hand sanitizers. They should be paper towels to wipe your hands. These are very simple measures that I think we can take. We will continue to work with all our partners to make sure that the public remains safe. In addition, we are starting again our testing of the nearshore water supply. So these are where people bathe along the Worthing coast. We know that our last checks, the water was safe. However, because of the transition of the public health lab, we only started to retest the water from today. Okay. But I would like to assure the public that, we are going to try to manage this situation and to reduce the risk to all Barbadians.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. George, for bringing us up to date with that situation there on the South Coast.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Okay, from paints to live Christmas trees to reupholstered furniture, Barbadians are moving to ensure their homes look the part this holiday season. We get more from Kishmar Sinjust.
Paint stores such as Sherwin-Williams are seeing an increase in business. Grey is fast becoming a color of choice for some homeowners.
For some reason, gray is the hot color, and most people are shying away from the tile red and the duck eye green and have opened their mind to all the things that they see on Pinterest.
While some Barbadians opt to purchase new furniture, there are others who resort to repairing the old ones. Upholsterers are given the job. Many are busy this time of year. This was evident as the CBC team visited a number of these upholsterers across the island. Suppliers of live Christmas trees are also cashing in on the holiday season. CBC News understands that many of the trees were pre-booked and the others were quickly grabbed up. Kishma Senjis, CBC News.
Despite a shortage of acreage, Barbadians can rest assured there will be adequate green peas for this market this holiday season. The peas are in high demand as they are among the main ingredients for the popular green peas and rice and jug at Christmas. A busy Kishmar Sinjus visited the Constant Plantation in St. George and found this report.
Green peas are a must-have staple for Barbadians at Christmas time. Many flock to the Constant Plantation here in St. George to pick their own peas.
Over 10,000 pounds of green peas have been sold so far. Hawkers, mainly women, from early this morning were busy in the fields. For some, it is an annual tradition.
My giant them over they come there, they fly and see people in there so early. Look up there and see more up there. Ain't done yet.
200 people there.
So it's better to come early morning to pick so before when the sun come up now?
Yeah.
Steamer.
Yeah.
Any cool hours.
Picking peas is a pleasure and it is a blessing, that's true. That's how we come a long ways in my children me. He work enough ground, plant enough peas, enough potato and yams and all them is many women today.
I say my peas for about 10-12 pounds for the time I came in, 8 o'clock.
So you're a vendor or you're buying it for yourself?
I buy them for my fridge and my family.
We got 8 o'clock.
How many pounds?
And I got about 12-15 pounds. 12 to 15 pounds there.
So you're a vendor or you're...
No, this is just to the home and I give a friend a pint or two.
Just over 25 acres of peas are available. Acting manager of the non-sugar unit at the Barbados Agricultural Marketing Company, Edwin O'Neill, pins the shortage on an unfortunate development. Despite this, he says the ground was well managed. The weather was also favorable this year.
In terms of rainfall, as you know, the peas, a legume. I think the botanical name Kajanus kajan. The blossoming period is determined by the length of day and the availability of rainfall. So we hit it bang on the head this time around.
For Clovis Hoyt, there is no real difference between the dwarf variety and the regular pea tree.
The dwarf peas is only your height, 4 feet high. And the tall trees is 6 and 7 feet tall, which means it bar the air. So you get too hot picking the peas. But with the dwarf peas is much better because you get air all the time.
So any pests in the peas like worms and stuff like that?
Well, if they don't spray, but these here spray properly and they ain't got no worms. Yeah. Very few, if any, at all.
Despite some young people accompanying their parents and grandparents, there is still a view that young people are not that interested in picking peas.
Especially if they got a job. But I come to pick some for my children too. Because when they pick these, they ain't got to buy them at the price that they're selling. But they're going to eat mine. They will eat mine.
So much you estimate you picked here this morning?
I picked a 5 pound from another place, and I come here now. I may still get 3 or 4 pounds here. That's good enough for me.
So many trees you got to go through to get a 5 pound bag?
Well, when the trees got on, when the peas right, you can stand by 3 trees or 4 trees and get what you want. But when all is full, you got to go from tree to tree.
Blossoming continues on the pea trees and the picking will continue.
We are going to be open every week. The number of days will be determined by the load of people in the preceding period. Yeah.
Okay, so what's the shot off here?
We're picking peas. Peas blossoming, so we're picking.
Kishma St. CBC News.
Thanks, Kishma. We'll take a short break here and come back with more news.
It's Christmas at the Kingsley store on Roebuck Street. Visit them today, spend $200 or more and get a chance to win one of their 3 grand prizes. A $1,000 food voucher, a $750 food voucher, and one $500 food voucher. Yes, shoppers, the competition is on at the Kingsley store on Roebuck Street. Come on down and shop today for the holidays and cash in on their big savings. Cupboards, divans.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1984, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings, the smart loans, smart savings. Stay smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
Protection of the country's sugarcane crop is of paramount importance to the government of Barbados. That's according to Minister with Responsibility for Energy in the Prime Minister's office, Senator Darcy Boyce. Speaking during a debate on amendments to the Agricultural Products and Livestock Bill, Senator Boyce says government is on a mission to make Barbados 100% dependent on renewable energy by the year 2035. He says the main source of the waste-load energy is expected to come from sugarcane, and people who illegally reap the crop are depleting those resources.
The same cane industry, which would generate for us the molasses and the sugars for the rum and for consumption, gives us bagasse that we can burn to generate electricity. And those lands that are not in sugarcane can be in some other biomass crop, like cane grass or some such thing, to be able to give us the amount of biomass we need to generate electricity day and night.
Independent Senator Alwyn Adams is in favor of stiffer penalties for crop thieves. He voiced his support today in the House while speaking on the Agriculture and Livestock Bill. He says the cries from the farming community have not gone unnoticed, and he thinks hard labor should be added.
I am very much in favor of the stiff penalties that we find in the bill. I can't go into them in detail, but we find 3 years or $5,000, or 5 years or $10,000. And some people were thinking that we should add hard labor onto that as well. But that is something that we can look at later on.
A question about oversight of the new company established as part of the resolution to the Clico debacle was raised in the Senate today. It came from Senator Professor Sir Henry Fraser. He wanted to know which, if any, agency was tasked with the responsibility of ensuring the company would be properly managed.
The concern would be simply to ask Senator Ince if he could explain to me and to the public of Barbados how the role of the new investment company relates to the insurance company, and will the regulation which didn't apply to Clico Holdings now apply to the new investment company, so that there's no risk there. It's simply an appeal for further information, because some of those questions have come to me over the weekend.
The answer came from Senator Jepter Ince, who said the company will fall under the purview of the Financial Services Commission.
You had what you call a supervisor of insurance office. These new entities, and when we examine the transfer of the assets and the guarantees, they would fall under the Financial Services Commission and what we call the risk management tools, or what you would call the guidelines for assessing the performance of the insurance company. For example, you would have risk-based assessments, you can have liquidity assessments, you can have a number of assessments.
After the break, we'll take a look at some of the stories making headlines across the region.
It's your favorite time of year again, when everyone is cleaning and fixing and painting. So, are you holiday ready? Harris Paints is celebrating 45 years of color. Get 45% off all Perma products, 30% off all Ultimate Plus, and many more. Plus, for every $50 you spend, you get a chance to win a grand prize of $10,000 cash. You can also win one of 45 prizes of Farmer's Choice hams, gas and grocery vouchers, and Harris gift cards. Get holiday ready with Harris Paints, the Caribbean champion.
A total of 1,500 people have been murdered in Jamaica so far this year. According to figures released by the Jamaica Constabulary Force Periodic Serious and Violence Review, the figure includes 51 children. Last year, 1,350 people were murdered. The figures show that nearly 1,400 men have been murdered since January, with many households now without a father or a male figure. According to the JCF figures, 1,350 males have so far been killed this year due to violence. The data also revealed that between 2013 and this year, 5,328 men have been murdered in Jamaica, while 569 women and 236 children died violently during the 4-year period. 51 children have been murdered this year as compared with 37 last year. St. Lucia's government is to introduce new tax reform measures after the island was included among 17 countries worldwide on a new global list of tax havens by the European Union. Minister in the Ministry of Finance, Uldibus Raymond, says the new tax rules are likely to be unveiled in the new budget and denied that the island is a tax haven. He says Castries has complied with all the requirements of international regulatory institutions. Mr. Raymond says the main issue involves a harmonization of taxes, which St. Lucia is currently working to improve. Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro has announced that the country's main opposition parties will be banned from taking part in next year's presidential election. It comes amid his ruling that the Socialist Party won at least 90% of the 355 mayoral seats in yesterday's local elections.
Voting in Venezuela is not obligatory, but many still put their faith in the electoral process. However, several opposition leaders boycotted the vote, accusing the government of manipulating the process to maintain its 18-year grip on power.
He has been a plague, Nicolas Maduro and his regime. He should go. He should resign democratically so we can have elections and choose candidates at every level of society.
President Maduro said those parties that boycotted the municipal elections were no longer part of the political landscape.
The parties that did not participate today, that boycotted the elections, cannot participate anymore. That's the criteria.
Sports news is just ahead with Mark Seal, but before we get there, here's a tip from Cooperators General Insurance.
It's brought to you by Cooperators General Insurance Company Limited. Insurance the way you want it to be.
It is best to park your vehicle facing outwards. In car parks, there is usually no traffic signs. No one, therefore, has the right of way. You should always proceed with caution. Cooperators General, promoting safety on our roads.